Well, good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and say hashtag replay. So, oh my goodness, my cup runneth over this morning. This morning I was in my quiet time and I was in Psalms and I read a few chapters, but I just want to highlight a little bit in Psalms 1. And then I want to talk about why I'm just bursting. Like I could cry at the drop of a hat, but I just want to share and just want to testify to his goodness this morning. So here in Psalm 1, it talks about he will be standing firm like a flourishing tree, deeply rooted, bearing fruit in every season of life, never dry, never fainting, ever blessed, ever prosperous. Well, who is that person that's being described? Well, it's the person whose passion is to remain true to the word of I am. I am Yahweh, the one true living God, the person who is meditating on his word and his precepts day and night, on the true revelation light. I mean, can you just embrace the fact that you, for your taking, you can be somebody who is standing firm, who is flourishing like a tree, who is deeply rooted, unwavering, not shaking, super grounded, so solid, bearing fruit in every season. Oh my goodness, the fruit of our lives should speak volumes. Never dry, never fainting, ever blessed, ever prosperous. Friends, you have access to all of that. That can be true for you. That can be who you are at your core. And this morning, I'm like, I could laugh and I could cry all in the same sentence. I'm telling you, my 14-year-old may be and possess, wow, I almost said potent, and that's not a word. He may possess more maturity than most adults. So he was reflecting. He was literally self-reflecting. He was self-evaluating. He is so aware. And I'm just like listening. Like, kind of started yesterday afternoon and it totally ended this morning. Well, I just dropped him off at school, so I'm not saying it's ended, but here's the cycle that we went through. So yesterday we were talking about how he actually got called to the principal's office and he was like, Mom, it was no big deal. Like, I was just reflecting on a season of my life earlier. Remember, I shared with you guys, he had like a little interest. Well, he was like self-reflecting. He was like, yeah, that was stupid. That was a stupid season. Like, I'm 14. I'm not ready to get married. She was just a distraction. Like, she's a nice girl, but she was a distraction for me. And it wasn't my best. He didn't use the word season. It was like, it just wasn't my best, decision. So he gets called to the principal's office over a note that he wrote her. It was not vulgar. It was not inappropriate, but at their private school, they are not allowed to have relationships within the school because they are young. They're not ready for marriage, right? So the principal pulls him into the office and says, obviously I captured your note. Obviously, you know that this isn't, acceptable in this school. However, I know your character and you were remorseful and you apologized. And so with apologies comes grace. With deception comes judgment. And so he basically handed the letter back to Trace and he said, normally I would put this in your file, but I'm going to give it back to you because you have shown your character and you can do with it what you wish. Okay. Now, Trace, God bless this 14-year-old boy. He is very much a firstborn. He is very much a rule follower and God is all over him. Okay. So he not only is remorseful that he did something that broke the rules of the school, he is reflective over his actions. He is aware of his downfalls. And he literally was like, Mom, this was not my best choices. Like he didn't say ashamed, but basically like he was remorseful of what had happened. And yet, God bless this school of which they are in today, by the way, because that file, don't nobody tell Trace, but that file doesn't really mean anything. I mean, that file is not going to make or break anything. But listen to this. The school is setting a standard. They are setting a high standard. They want the children to walk upright and in the things of God. And so this morning, my other three are in the back and we're bumping. We're bumping to Donald Trump is your president, right? We're bumping to like this song called The Truth, which I'll talk about tomorrow. And my sweet 14-year-old son, we're almost to school and he goes, well, I didn't even get to listen to what I wanted to listen to. And he turns on a song. I'll put it in the comments. It's all about he has done great things. He has done great things. It's just this like slow and somber and reflective song. And I'm just like, this child has God all over him. He has God all in him. The fruit of his life speaks for itself. Because yesterday when we were talking, I said, Trace, the fact that you're reflecting on what you did and your actions and how you're recognizing, I said, you are literally growing from this, child. Like, you are aware of your actions. You are aware of your decisions. You are aware of the ramifications. Y'all, it was a little tiny love note about probably him liking her and her being cute. We're talking nothing inappropriate. It was just out of school bounds because they're not allowed to have relationships. Are you catching my drift? And yet, can we be so honoring of the one who gives us breath in our lungs that even the slightest, even the most minute missing of the mark, we're remorseful. He wrote a tiny little flirting sentence to an interest of his. And he is, undone sounds a little dramatic. I'm not going to claim the kid's in tears. He's just introspective. Okay, he's 14. But he's literally just like, he's soaking in worship songs as if just that the words would wash him. And he's like, I haven't gotten to listen to what I wanted to this morning. And he turns on, he has done great things. Oh God, you've done great things. And so this morning, I'm reading in the Word about those who are standing firm like a flourishing tree, those who are deeply rooted, those who are bearing fruit in every season, those who are never dry because they know their source, those who are never fainting because they know who their strength and where their strength comes from, those who are ever blessed, even in remorse, repercussions, reflection, ever prosperous, because when you stay aligned with your source, when you stay aligned with your creator God, when you stay aligned with the one who knows your heart and knows why he created you and for what he created you, you will forever be prosperous. Friends, my 14-year-old son is more mature than most adults. He has so much of his daddy in him. He has so much of his daddy in him. And I pray all the days of his life that he is passionate to remain true to the Word, to remain true to the one true living God, meditating day and night on his word and his precepts, on true revelation light. Because when we stay tapped into the true revelation light, oh my goodness, your life will be rich and your fruit will be evident.